Welcome back to novel time. We are moving on now to a new novel, and it's a novel called The Boy Who Grew Dragons. It's by an author called Andy Shepherd, and it seems to be a very funny and very exciting book, which I think you're going to enjoy. On the first page, when we open up, we've got a little extract that I'm going to read you. And it says, when people ask me what we grow in Grandad's garden, I think they expect the answer to be cucumbers, tomatoes, or runner beans. I don't think they expect the answer to be dragons. But there it is, we grow dragons. And I can tell you this, they're a lot more trouble than cucumbers. And now we can see a little picture. Right, so again, when we turn over, we've got another little picture with some lovely illustrations and some lovely sentences. And it says, things cucumbers do not do. Poo in your dad's porridge. Singe your eyebrows. Make a really cosy nest by shedding all your mum's alphabetically ordered recipes. Leave your plants, the embarrassing ones, covered in diggers, hanging from the TV aerial. Chase your cat. Drop cabbages on your cat. Try to ride your cat like a rodeo bull. Wake you up at 4 a.m. every morning by digging razor-sharp claws into your forehead. Set light to your toothbrush while it's still in your mouth. Of course, they also don't have scales that ripple and shimmer like sunlight on the sea, or have glittering eyes that can see right into the heart of you, or settle on your shoulder, with their tail curled round, warming your neck, and their hot breath tickling your ear. Nope, none of these are things you can expect from a cucumber. Well, not any cucumbers I've ever come across. Maybe a mutant radioactive space cucumber, but not your average garden variety. But dragons, well, they're a whole other story. So who wants to grow dragons? Daft question. I mean, seriously, who in their right mind would say no? Not me, that's for sure, and not you by the looks of it. But if you want to grow dragons, you need to know what you're getting into. Sure, they're fiery, fantastical, and dazzling, but dragons are not all fun and games, not by a long shot. And it's not just the fire and the flammable poo I'm talking about, oh no. Which is why, my dragon-seeking desperados, I'm writing all this down, so at least you can go into it with your eyes wide open. Because believe me, you'll need them to stay wide, wide open. So that was just a little introduction to the story. We're now going to start on chapter 1, and I hope you enjoy it. So chapter 1 is called Battle of the Bongle. It started about a year ago, and it was all Grandad's fault. Well, his and the jam tarts. I was just licking the last of it off my fingers when he said, we should grow our own, Chipstick. Jam tarts, I asked. Raspberries, he grinned. Then we could make our own jam for Nana's tarts. We could mix them up too. Strawberry and blackberry, gooseberry and raspberry. Just think of all the possibilities. Delicious. It did make a pretty good picture in my head. A vast plate-sized jam tart with different coloured sections like a multi-topping pizza. And more too, Grandad went on, before I could dive further into the jammy dream. Radishes, beans, onions, cauliflowers, you name it, we could grow it. Suddenly, I wasn't so sure it was a great idea. Strawberry and cauliflower jam? Ew! Anyway, I had enough fruit and vegetables to deal with. What with Mum shoveling in my 5 a day? I mean, she even sneaked dry fruit into perfectly good flapjacks. As if I wouldn't notice. But Grandad wasn't one to let go of an idea once it had fluttered down and settled. So one Saturday morning, there we were at the end of his garden, up to our ears in mud, digging away at what looked to me like a monster jungle. In fact, I was beginning to realise why Mum had offered me provisions for my trip to the Amazon. Without the nettles and brambles, my grandparents' garden was probably half as big, and ran all the way down to the fields beyond. I've been wanting to get stuck into this since we moved in, Grandad told me, pausing to catch his breath. But what with that one thing and another, I just don't seem to have found the time. I stopped digging and scraped my spade across a clod of mud. I know you have no idea what he was talking about, but I did. I knew exactly what he meant by one thing or another. Sorry, I muttered, because I really was. He rested his arms on his spade and leaned towards me. Now, there's something you should know about my granddad. He twinkles. That might sound weird, but he does. There's a phrase, to have a twinkle in your eye, which means to be bright or sparkling with delight. Well, my granddad has the biggest twinkle of anyone I've ever known. And right then, he was shining that twinkle down on me till I felt its warmth flooding every bit of my body. It was like I'd sat down in front of the toastiest marshmallow toasting fire. Now then, Chipstick, how many times have I told you? What's the deal with families? I smiled. They stick together. Exactly, he grinned. Not unlike jam tarts. Now get digging. Okay, Frian, we will stop there for your little introduction to the boy who grew dragons. I hope you've enjoyed the beginning and you are excited to hear the next stage, and I will see you tomorrow.